Mom knows she messed up. Can't you let it go? A misunderstanding. That word hit me like a punch. Rage shot straight to my head. This woman cheated on me after giving birth. I caught her. She flipped it around, accused me of rape, and put me in prison for 3 years. When I got out, she drained my accounts, taken off with her boyfriend, and dumped our newborn at an orphanage. And now my daughter was calling that a misunderstanding. I looked at her, and something went cold inside me. She felt like a stranger. Marta, I said, fighting to keep my voice steady. You were too young. You don't know what happened. That woman is a selfish, heartless liar. She abandoned her own baby. She doesn't get to call herself a mother. Stop. She cut me off. Her eyes were red, full of anger. Dad, Mom had her reasons. If you hadn't butted in and pulled me out of that orphanage, she would have come for me. I wouldn't have spent all those years growing up like some kid nobody wanted. She thought me getting her out of the orphanage was butting in. Then Laura chimed in, eyes watery. That's right, Andre. I had no choice but to leave Marta there temporarily. But you took her without telling anyone. Do you know how many years I spent looking for her? She started crying softly. Marta stepped in front of her and shot me a look full of blame. I watched Laura twist everything upside down. Blood rushed to my head. I pointed at her face. That's a lie. You took every penny and disappeared with your boyfriend. I stepped toward her, but Marta got between us and shoved me hard. I stumbled into the windowsill, nearly going over. Cut it out. She stood there, eyes blazing. You're a rapist. Who are you to talk about my mom? Rapist. My own daughter called me a rapist. Those words hurt worse than when the judge read my sentence. Marta, my voice shook. What did you just say? Her eyes flickered. She knew she'd gone too far, but she lifted her chin. I'm not wrong. You forced yourself on Mom. Yeah, she screwed up too, but you're no angel either. I raised her for 20 years, and to her, I was just a rapist. I thought about her at 3, burning with fever. I ran 2 kilometers to the hospital with her on my back, lost a shoe, cut my foot open on glass, and left a trail of blood to the ER. She kept mumbling daddy, and I kept saying I'm here. At 7, some kid called her a girl with no mom. I went to her teacher, called every parent. That kid apologized in front of the class. She came home and said, you're the best dad ever. At 18, leaving for college. I set up her dorm, made her bed. When I left, she grabbed my jacket. Dad, I'm gonna miss you. I cried the whole drive home. 3 days ago, when the company went under, the first thing I thought about wasn't the 80 million. It was her. I stayed up all night on her visa and moved every dollar into her account, and now she was calling me a rapist. So you've made up your mind. You're siding with her. She hesitated, then nodded. Fine, go with her. I spent all these years raising a kid who couldn't care less. We're done. It felt like someone ripped something out of my chest, but it didn't matter. I wasn't going to be around much longer. Before I could finish that thought, Marta frowned. Dad, we're not the ones leaving. You are. What's that mean? She pulled a document from her bag and set it on the desk. The company's about to go public. You've worked hard enough. Time to rest. She tapped the paper. Because of you, Mom had a tough life. Think of this as making it right. I stared at it. Every muscle locked up. It was a stock transfer agreement. You want me to sign the company over to her? Marta nodded like it was nothing. Don't worry. I'll still take care of you when you're old. Laura spoke up, looking at me with rehearsed warmth. Andre, I'll run the company well. You just relax. You've earned it. I looked at her face, and everything clicked. She didn't come back for her daughter. She came back for the company. She turned my own kid against me, all to get her hands on this business. What she didn't know was the company was about to collapse. 80 million in debt. A bottomless pit. I looked at my daughter. This company is 20 years of my life. Are you sure you want to do this for her? Dad, this is what you owe Mom. What you owe me. Stop fighting. Just sign. One signature, and everything, including 80 million in debt, goes to Laura. I picked up the pen. My hand hovered. Hold on. A voice from the doorway. The door swung open. A guy in a sharp suit walked in, holding a document, smiling like he'd already won. Bob, my oldest friend, head of legal. Bob. He walked right past me and stopped next to Laura. He handed a document to Marta. Have him sign this too. Along with the stock transfer, he hands over the factory outside town. I stood there like I'd been hit with a 2x4. Bob, my closest friend for decades, back when his parents couldn't afford tuition and he was about to drop out of high school. I gave him my entire month's living money. I ate nothing but plain bread for 2 months so he could finish school. When the company took off, he was the first person I brought in. I put him in charge of legal, gave him the best salary, and kept his workload light. He was single, so I bought him an apartment. Whatever car he wanted, I got it. Whenever his family hit trouble, I handed over cash, no questions asked. I believed no matter who stabbed me in the back, he never would. I thought back to the trial. After Laura's accusation, I went looking for a lawyer, but my name was mud. Nobody would touch a case with rapist attached to it. Bob was the only one who stepped up. He took my case while everyone else turned their backs on him for it. He argued for me in court, fought hard enough to get my sentence reduced. The day of the verdict, he clapped me on the shoulder and said, Andre, 3 years goes fast. When you get out, we'll start fresh. Those 3 years, he came every month. He brought cigarettes, food, and news. I thought that's what a real friend looked like. I snapped my head up. Bob, you tampered with the evidence, didn't you? He paused, then smiled coldly. Just now figuring that out? Little late. I slammed my fist on the desk. Papers jumped. Laura's evidence was full of holes, but I still got convicted. He rigged it. Why? Why did you do this to me? Bob laughed. Why? He turned, put his arm around Laura, and kissed her. Marta spoke up, totally flat. Bob was Mom's first love. If you hadn't gotten in the way, they'd already be together. Bob looked at me with pure hate. You took the woman I loved. I'll never forgive that. Over a woman? My voice cracked. You threw away decades of friendship? After everything I did for me? Bob let out a sharp, nasty laugh, like I told the funniest joke he'd ever heard. The real word is charity. He stepped toward me and looked down at me. You have any idea how much I've hated watching you play big shot all these years? You're a convicted rapist. What makes you think you deserve to call the shots? The big house, the nice car,
I live my day as if it was the last. Live
My TikTok account.
Guys, there's someone...
Oh no.
What happened to her?
Guys, we need to
Good
help
body.
her.
What is that?
I don't know.
What the hell?
Yay!
Yay.
What?
What is that?
We don't know.
Is it you?
No, it not.
What?
Round 2. Fight!
Шакала, 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 бум. Уже нет места для этих купюр. Горячий пацан, как будто утёк. Буду легендой. Шакала, 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 бум. Уже нет места для этих купюр. Горячий пацан, как будто утёк. Буду легендой, как Михаил Круг. Плакала, 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 бум.
É DJ moleque bom, ele tem experiência, esculacha a concorrência, vai. É DJ moleque bom,
Safadinho.
No matter where I go, you know I love them all. She said, hola, como está? She said, konnichiwa. She said, pardon my French. I said, bonjour, my dog.
Safadinha, cremosa safadinha. Taca de taquinha, taca de taquinha. Safadinha.
I lost all my feelings.
You're so
Riding foreign cars, yeah, I'm a star, yeah. She dancing like a pro, yeah.
Guys.
Hello Kitty jewelry at Claire's.
Dad was furious with me when I got a home run during the final game. My dad's entire personality is baseball. His screensaver, his ringtone, his weekend plans, all baseball. He wears his old high school jersey to family barbecues like it still fits. So when he started pushing me to join the local youth team last year, I wasn't surprised. What surprised me was the conversation I overheard 3 weeks into his pitch to get me to play. I was getting water.
Dad told my stepmom to apologize or we're done after she insulted me.
Close to the end.
Baby boo.